Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about finding the discriminant. This goes right along with our finding the discriminant activity. I don't have a printer, so this is what I've resorted to. But again, the discriminant tells us how many solutions to our quadratic there are. So there are three types. You can either have two solutions, one solution, or no real solutions. And what the discriminant does is tells us how many solutions. Again, the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now, why is that important? Because this is my discriminant, okay? And again, that tells me how many times my parabola crosses the x-axis, how many roots or how many solutions it has. Okay, so now here we go. Example number one, 10m squared equals 4. Okay, well now my first thing I always need to do is make sure that this is in standard form, which it is not. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the standard form for a quadratic. Okay, now I notice that this is equals 4. Okay, well this is equals 0, so I need to move this 4 to the other side. Right now it's a positive, so to move it over, I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. So I get 10m squared minus 4 equals 0. Now we're in standard form. Now notice that there is no bx term. So the b in this case is 0. It just 10m squared, 10 is the a, and then this is the c. There is no x behind it, so it's the constant at the end. So I'm going to label a, which equals 10, b, which equals 0 because there is no b term, and then c, which is a negative 4. Now I'm ready to plug into this formula. So b squared, so b, which is 0, 0 squared minus 4 times a times c. A is 10, c is a negative 4. 0 squared is still 0 minus 4 times 10 is 40, and then times another negative 4, which is a positive 160. So this is now plus 160. 0 plus 160 is a positive 160. So I got a positive number. That tells me that I have two real solutions. It doesn't tell me what the solutions are. It just tells me how many I have. All right, number 2, 6r squared minus 9r plus 6. Again, I need to get it in standard form, so I'm going to move this negative 9r to the other side. I'm going to move the 6 to the other side. So let's do the opposite. So it's a negative 9r, so I'm going to add it to both sides, so I get plus 9r. It's a plus 6 right now, so I'm going to subtract it on both sides, and I get minus 6. A equals 6, b equals 9, and c equals negative 6. So now let's plug in here. So b squared, which is 9 squared minus 4 times a times c. So now we're there. 9 squared is an 81. And now I've got 4 times 6 times negative 6, and I get plus 144. Well, 81 plus 144 is a positive 225. Again, a positive number tells me I have two real solutions. All right, number 3. Again, first step, put it in standard form, so I need to move this negative 4k to the other side. Negative 9k squared, and I'm going to add it because it's already a negative, and then minus 2. So a equals negative 9, b equals 4, c equals negative 2. Now we're ready to plug in. B squared is 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is a negative 9, times c, which is negative 2. 4 squared is 16 last time I checked. 4 times 9 times 2. Let's do a little math. So I get negative 72 because I got a negative times a negative, which gives me a positive, times another negative, which gives me a negative again. So negative 72. So 16 minus 72 is negative 56. Again, negative number for my discriminant tells me that I have no real solutions. Number 4. Okay, again, I need to put it in standard form, so I need to move this negative 9 to the other side, so I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So let's rewrite this, negative 4n squared plus 3n plus 2. All right, now let's plug in what we know. We know that a is negative 4, we know that b is 3, we know that c is positive 2. So b squared, which is 3 squared, minus 4 times a, which is negative 4, times c, which is a positive 2. All right, so I get 9 minus 16 times 2, which is a positive 32 because a negative times a negative. So 9 plus 32 equals a positive 31. Positive number here tells me that I have two real solutions. Numero 5. Negative 8x squared plus 8x plus 2, and I need to subtract the 4 on both sides, so negative 8x squared plus 8x minus 2. Alright, so now I know I need to plug into my discriminant formula, so a equals negative 8, b equals 8, c equals negative 2. Let's do some work, so I get 8 squared minus 4 times negative 8 times negative 2. 8 squared is 64 minus negative 4 times negative 8 times negative 2, which now I'm back at a negative 64. Well, 64 minus 64 equals 0. Okay, so now I get 0 for my discriminant. I know I have one real solution. So what that's telling me is that my parabola or my quadratic lies on the x-axis. That is my solution. I have one solution, and it is the x-intercept. Number 6, put it in standard form, so negative 8a squared minus 8a minus 2. I move the 2 to the other side. All right, now I know that a equals negative 8. I know that b equals negative 8, and c equals negative 2. So I got negative 8 squared minus 4 times negative 8 times negative 2. Now notice that negative 8 is squared. Okay, so a negative times a negative gives me a positive. So I know when I square this negative 8, I get a positive 64. All right, so that's where a lot of us went wrong. Okay, so it's negative 8 times negative 8, which gives me a positive 64, minus negative 4 times negative 8 times negative 2, which once again, we're back at a negative 64. Okay, so here we go. Just like my last problem, right over here, I had 64 minus 64. I get the same thing here, which equals 0. So when my discriminant equals 0, I know I have one real solution. 4 more, we're almost there. Number 7, put it in standard form. Sorry, this is minus 9. Okay, now notice that I wrote the 6m in front, okay, because standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, x or m are the same thing, it's just a variable. So I know I need to write that in standard form. So don't write the 9 in front of the 6. A equals negative 3, b equals negative 6, and c equals negative 9. All right, let's plug into what we know. I got negative 6 squared. So again, that b, the whole thing is squared. So the negative is also squared. Minus 4 times a times c. All right, so now I got negative 6 times negative 6 gives me a positive 36. And then I get minus 108. So 36 minus 108 gives me a negative 72. I know if I get a negative number for my discriminant that I have no real soluciones. Number 8, negative 7k plus 10k plus 15, and then I need to subtract 6 on both sides. So negative 7k squared plus 10k plus 11. Okay, because 15 minus 6, sorry, that's not correct at all. It's plus 9. Come on, Coach Sapp, what are you doing? All right, so here we go. I know that A equals negative 7. I know that B equals positive 10. I know that C equals positive 9. All right, so let's plug it in. I know that 10 squared minus 4 times A times C. So 100 minus 4 times A, so 4 times 7, which equals negative 4 times negative 7, okay, which is a positive 28. All right, so I know right now this is a really big number, okay, so that's going to give me something, 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 all right, and I know that it is 2 real solutions. Now, how do I know that? Because this is 100 plus another big number, so I'm going to get a positive answer. And I don't have a calculator in front of me, and Coach Sapp's not going to do that math. So I know I have 2 real solutions. All right, number 9, 2 more. R squared plus 3r minus 7 equals negative 4. So let's add 4 to both sides. And I get r squared plus 3r minus 3. So I know that a equals 1. There's a 1 in front of the r squared. I know that b equals 3. And I know that c equals negative 3. So I know b squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 3. B squared is 9. And then I get negative 4 times 1, which is still negative 4. So negative 4 times negative 3 is a positive 12. You add those together and you get a positive 21. So it's a positive number. You know you have 2 real solutions. And last one, put it in standard form, so add 10 to both sides. You get 7x squared plus 6x plus 8. Now I know that A equals 7, I know that B equals 6, I know that C equals 8, so 36b squared minus 4 times A times 7. Okay, so 36 minus 224, okay, that's some good quick math for you, equals negative 188. Well, it's a negative number, so you know if it's a negative number, you have no real solutions. Okay, hope this helps, guys. What you're supposed to do is you're going to put these 10 equations into the column based on how many solutions you got for each discriminant. Thanks for watching.